How's it going, everyone? My name is Dave, and one of the things people often ask me about is worship. Now, I think it's because they assume I'm from Hillsong United. I'm not. But today I am going to tell you how worship is defined in the Hebrew language and what one of my favorite theologians says about worship. And it's not Joel Houston or Carl Lentz. Roll that bumper. If this is your first time on my channel, this is the place where I like to do short 2-minute devotions every Tuesday that are designed to help you take the next steps in your spiritual journey. So why don't you hit the subscribe button right here, so that you never miss an episode. So what is worship? I mean, I've heard everybody from Tim Keller and John Piper to Francis Chan and Louis Giglio give entire sermons about worship, but I'm going to try and explain it in just 2 minutes. So let's put that right up here and get stuck into it. Despite the fact that I play guitar in the worship team at North Point here in Atlanta, or that my wife used to lead worship at her church when she was growing up, not Hillsong, and that my eldest daughter leads worship at her church, worship is more than just singing. Some of you are now wondering if I've ever heard Oceans. Has he even heard of Hillsong? Well, sorry folks, it's bigger than just music or singing. In fact, it's so much bigger that there are more than a dozen Hebrew words used throughout the scriptures that we translate as worship. And these words cover everything from bowing down to something, to singing, to reverence, to fear, to dancing, to being loyal, and to obeying. One of my favorite biblical scholars is a man named Abraham Joshua Heschel, and he once said, "To worship is to expand the presence of God in the world." I think Heschel's point is that one of the ways we worship God is through acts of compassion and mercy and gratitude and grace, so that the people around us get to experience God's presence. Man, I love that idea that when we worship God, we expand His presence in the world. So if worship is what we bow down to and what we're loyal to, then as followers of God, we worship Him when we live lives that extend His presence in the world and allows His kingdom to be experienced right here on earth. Can you imagine if worship was more than just a genre of music? Imagine if Christians worshiped God by extending His presence in the world in the way they acted, the things that they said, the way they behaved, and the way they responded to people who are in need. Well, that brings us to the question of the day. How are you going to worship God today? Well, I hope this video was helpful for you. If it was, make sure you hit that subscribe button right there. Feel free to share this on your own social media. Check out all of the links I've got down below in the show notes and leave me a comment on how you're going to worship God today. I'll see you next Tuesday.